Haberman or Usher? Haberman or Usher? You got to make a pick. You got to make a pick. What's up, everybody? Halftime. This probably won't. This won't hold up, to post game, but we'll have a post game coming up a little bit later. Obviously, here, if you're on YouTube, like the video. Well, you're on YouTube. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Torn right here at halftime, right? I mean, so much has gone right. They've dominated. 49ers have looked great. They're up 10-3 at the half. Yards per play, dominant. And yet Kansas City is going to get the ball to start the second half and feel like if they score that they've dodged 10 bullets. I mean, the Niners right now, it doesn't feel like it. Niners are 6.1 yards per play. Kansas City's 5.8 yards per play. They've run almost the same amount of plays. Niners are 4 more plays. Niners have 32 more yards. Niners have 12 first downs. San Francisco's to me, stories of this first half so far. Brock's looked really comfortable. 49ers defensive front has been fantastic and missed opportunities. I mean, it feels like they should be up at least 17-3, 13. No, I mean, 17-3. Score feels like it should be 17-3. So on one hand, you feel great because the 49ers have clearly been the better team. On the other hand, you go, all right, are you going to be able to make up for those mistakes and capitalize despite the fact that you've missed opportunities? Let's see Brock's numbers. 10 of 15 for 123. He was 8 of 10 at the end of the first half for like 115 or something. So didn't throw the ball a bunch in the second half. Jennings did throw the touchdown. Mahomes 11 of 13 for 123. Been efficient. They have been all up in him. I mean, the Niners defensive front, I think, is the story of this game so far. They have not given Mahomes a clean pocket. They haven't given him time to throw. They haven't had a lot of guys open, even when he's had time to extend plays. It's been hard for him to find plays. So halfway through the game, where do you say, like, what do you think we're right about? What do you think we're wrong about? One thing I think so far that we were right about coming into this game is that the Chiefs' skill guys in the pass game just are not the type that give the 49ers a bunch of problems. Now, you're going to have a long halftime here. Which I guess is good. Like, this game has so far had a lot more plays in it than the Niners possessions in it than the Niners usually have in the first half of games. It feels like normally you look up and you've gotten, 3 possessions, maybe 4 possessions. Niners, if you count the last possession, had their 6th possession. Interesting decision by Shanahan. Didn't love it, given that Kansas City is going to get the ball first to start the second half. Kansas City runs a first down play there at the end of the half in the red zone with 1:05 left on the clock. That play ends. Niners do not use a timeout. Kansas City runs its 2nd and 7 play with 36 seconds left. So the Niners, 29 seconds came off the clock between the first down and the second down play that Shanahan didn't use the timeout on. Instead, Kansas City runs the play on second down with 36. Kinlaw gets a stop. 5 seconds it took to run the play. Kansas City calls a timeout with 31 seconds. Armstead gets Mahomes on 3rd and 5. They kick the field goal. So instead of getting the ball back, I mean, Niners could have got the ball back with 1 timeout in 45 seconds or so. Instead, maybe like almost 50 seconds. Instead, 2 timeouts, 20 seconds. They run the McCaffrey ball and nothing happens. And look, to me, if they get a stop to start the second half, then you probably don't worry about it too much. But they got Moody, they got Jake Moody. I need to do some research. Have the Niners had a kickoff return for a touchdown in the Shanahan era? It doesn't feel like they've even gotten close to a kickoff return for a touchdown in the Shanahan era. Chase Young has been really good. I mean, Chase Young had the sack early. He got the intentional grounding. He's been fantastic. These guys with 2 weeks to be ready, hearing about effort, lay it all on the field, blah, blah, blah. Defensive line has been excellent. Excellent. Again, you look at the Mahomes box score and you go 10 of 13. 11 of 13 for 123. You think maybe they're not getting pressure to them, but they're getting a lot of pressure on them. They've looked as good as they've looked up front. With the exception of not finishing drives, this looks like the prime 2023, 2024 49ers. They look like the best version of themselves from this year right now, with the exception of not finishing drives. And okay, why does it happen? McCaffrey fumbles on the first drive. Trent Williams, Purdy hits Ayuk. with a first down throw to start that second drive. Trent Williams gets a false start. Then he gets a hold. Brock made an incredible play. It was 2nd down and 17. Now, maybe Brock doesn't make the play if Trent Williams doesn't hold, but he's rolling left. He comes all the way back, throws it all the way back across to Kittle, makes an awesome play. So that just put him behind the 8 ball, 2nd and 3rd down and 27, 3rd and 20. So that second drive stops. The third drive, I give Shanahan credit here. He kicked the 55-yarder. He's like, enough of this shit. We need points. That was to start the second quarter, excuse me. So the throw that preceded the field goal, the 55-yarder from Moody that was drilled, was the deep ball to Deebo in the end zone. And it'll be interesting, was there anything else on that play? Purdy giving his guy a shot, or as Cam Newton would say, party. I spent 3 days right next to Cam Newton at Radio Row, so party is really in my head. But Deebo just, the reality is Deebo doesn't win that ball hardly ever. If it's a 50-50 jump ball, that's not Deebo's strength. I talked about it throughout training camp. They would throw the ball once a day in practice in training camp and almost never hit it. And it felt like they're just throwing it to, so Deebo has something to do out there in training camp, but they just never hit it ever. And you throw it in this game. It was a good throw by Brock. I don't know what happened, earlier in that drive was the ball into the end zone to Ayuk. I don't know what happened there. Romo seemed to think that if Ayuk had widened out, then he would have had a shot to catch the ball. I don't know. Maybe hopefully that doesn't matter at the end of the day. And that was 7 points though. But, Brock's cutting it loose. Brock looks really good. I think Brock looks so comfortable, so under control. Brock is really impressive. Brock is really impressive. All right, so they kick the field goal. That's their third possession. Kansas City, next drive, they fumble. Deommodore Lenoir, what a stud. He's balling. Niners get it back. Drive starts well. Purdy gets horse-collared. Eventually he gets sacked. A couple of run plays. You thought that was a drive where you thought, man, maybe keep throwing it, Kyle. Like it's working. He goes run play for Deebo, nothing. McCaffrey, basically nothing. Purdy gets sacked. Punt. Then we get to Kansas City's fourth drive. That's where Dre Greenlaw got hurt. And I see a lot of people in the chat sending love to Dre Greenlaw. In an era of the Shanahan era, and really I guess you could argue just the Harbaugh era, the Niners, but the Shanahan era has been filled with crazy, crazy stuff happening. That is one of the crazy. Dre Greenlaw getting hurt. When I saw, we're kind of behind on television. You see tweets and stuff. I try to avoid it. And I just saw somebody posted Greenlaw just got hurt running off the sideline. I thought, was Greenlaw? He must have been on special teams on the kick cover, the punt cover. And then when you see that replay of him getting hurt, and we all knew it. You all knew right away. Greenlaw's been banged up before. He goes to the blue tent. He comes right back. I think everybody kind of knew this was not going to be one of those situations. You could tell right away it's either an ACL or an Achilles, the way he went down. Just crazy. Just one of the craziest things that that has happened to the 49ers in a crazy era. So I thought it was really critical when that next drive started. I was impressed. I thought the defense really stepped up. Chase Young, that's where he got the intentional grounding on Mahomes. Then they run up the middle, get stuffed. Then Bosa and Armstead get a big stop. And I thought after Greenlaw got hurt, it could have really been an emotional punch in the gut. And those guys, man, I thought they really stepped up. So that was a big drive for the 49ers. That was a huge drive. And then we get to the touchdown. After they get that stop, after Greenlaw got hurt, Deebo starts with a drop. They go right back to him. He gets a first down. McCaffrey just hammering the ball. Thank God Christian's knee muscles or knee tendons are super stretchy because he got bent backwards. Then Mitchell gets a couple. And then Kyle Shanahan calls one of the craziest plays of his entire tenure. Juwan Jennings, throw back to Christian McCaffrey, touchdown pass. Just incredible. Guts by Jennings. Jennings got crushed on the play. absolutely crushed. I thought it was kind of crazy as the play's unfolding because you're at the 21-yard line. It's 2nd and 10. You're in the red zone. You're picking up yards. You didn't need to do it. It didn't feel like. It felt like just keep doing your thing, go score. But you got it. That was not tight Kyle. Tight Kyle Shanahan does not call that play. That was not tight Kyle Shanahan. And putting the ball in Juwan Jennings' hands is ballsy. I don't know, Juwan. I don't know what was going to happen if that play was better covered. Juwan might throw that thing anyway. Juwan puts it in the air to Christian McCaffrey. Because Christian is behind the line of scrimmage, because it was a forward pass, but because the play is behind the line of scrimmage, there is no such thing as offensive pass interference. Okay, you can hit guys if the play is behind the line of scrimmage. There's no pass interference either way. There's no pass interference on the defense either. You can blow dudes up behind the line of scrimmage on the defense. So if the throw is behind the line, there's no PI either way, right? That means, let's say the ball's in the air, you can hit Jennings you can hit McCaffrey before the ball gets there. That's not defensive pass interference. And balls in the air, you can do what Burford did, which is come up and make a hit on a dude who might be coming up to make an interception or definitely a TFL. And when Christian McCaffrey caught that ball, the second he caught it, first of all, I thought it was going to be a throwback to Purdy. I thought that ball was coming back to Purdy, but Purdy was in the middle of the field. Purdy threw it to Jennings and then didn't go anywhere, just stayed there. So they get it back to McCaffrey, and the second Christian gets it, you're like, oh, this went from a no to McCaffrey rocket, and McCaffrey ran through everybody for the touchdown. So that was a wild decision. I think the Niners offense looks good. Ahmad says Niners offense is struggling. I think they look good. They've just had some tough breaks in situations where they should have scored. And the McCaffrey touchdown and then the drive that Trent Williams had the back-to-back penalties really hurt him. But I think at minimum, I guess you could argue a fumble and false start and holding, that's on them. Defense is playing better right now. Defense is playing excellent right now. Solid drive by Kansas City at the end of the half. I said this week, if I was Kansas City, I would not run in the red zone. I would throw in the red zone. It doesn't really seem like it matters either way. The Niners defense doing what they did against the Packers, which is they're better than they were against the Packers. But when Kansas City's gotten in the red zone, they've two trips in the red zone resulted in 3 points and a fumble. So they've been really good in the red zone. I kept waiting for them to take shot. They're running all these quick screens and all this stuff that, you wonder if they were going to eventually loosen up the Niners defense. Their personnel, man. Arms, it's just not, it's not elite. It's, you feel like you should be up more. And you just hope that at the end of this game in 2 quarters, you're not looking back going, boy, the Niners had outplayed them in the first half, should have been ahead, and let them back in. So the first drive of the second half is going to be big. Can the Niners carry over the tone they set in the first half into the second half? Or is Kansas City going to kind of get a little refresh here and look better offensively? If they get a stop, it's going to feel like it just carried over. The physicality, the 49ers are more physical. They've really set the tone. The punters are both really punting very well in this game, by the way. They get some booming punts. Alicia Keys, booming punts, great coverage. Chris Conley's been really good. Chris Conley's made 2 really good special teams plays. Chris Conley had the big 3rd down catch. Remember, he's active instead of Ronnie Bell. And you got to figure one of the reasons, that's the benefit of having Ray back. Conley's really good on coverage. So, talk about guys stepping up. Chase Young, Armstead, Kinlaw's made a few plays. How about the other thing that has I think really been impressive in this game is the 49ers pass protection has been really good. 49ers pass pro has been excellent. Brock's had a lot of time to throw. Even times when Brock has gotten pressure, it's been after a couple of seconds. It hasn't been, I don't think it hasn't been, unless I'm forgetting to play. I mean, it really has not been immediate pressure in Brock's face. He has taken a sack, but it feels like they've given him a lot of time. So, he's taken 2 sacks actually, but I think they've given him time. So it's been good. So hopefully this long halftime doesn't, kill any of their momentum. They were offensively, you can tell how tiring it is to play in this game. Guys are breathing so hard early in this game. Um, will Jake Moody have to win this game? 55-yarder, Super Bowl record. Very impressive. So, all right, let's get to some of these comments here. Now, Mark, got to try to get Kittle going in the pass game somehow. Look, Kittle's going to get one, and maybe Kelsey's going to get one. Neither one of them have done squat. Kittle doesn't have a catch, doesn't have a target. Kelsey has one catch for 1 yard. That was a bubble screen I think it was the first or second possession. They tried to throw it was the second play of the game. They tried to throw a quick screen to Kittle, and it got like a yard, got blown up. That's it. So both of these guys have not really been impactful, at least in the pass game. But something's going to happen. I have no doubt. There's going to be, Kittle has so many of these games where you look down after and you go, wow, Kittle only had 2 targets, but one of them was, 3rd and 7, he picks up 17. So, George impacts this game, the way they're protecting and the way they're running the ball. McCaffrey right now, 3.7 yards per carry. Isaiah Pacheco, 3.9. Pacheco's actually slightly above 9 carries for Christian, 7 for Pacheco. My pregame prediction was 31-24 49ers. Scoring's going to have to pick up if that's going to happen. I think it might, because both teams, I think, have moved the ball better. Definitely the Niners have moved the ball better than the score, and the Chiefs did at the end of the half. Total touches right now for Christian, I said before the game, I thought 24 would be his number. He's on a good pace for that. McCaffrey has 5 catches for 47 yards to go with his 9 carries. So that's 14 touches. My pregame pick for MVP was Deebo. We're not looking good there. Deebo just 2 catches for 24 yards, and his 2 rush plays have done jack squat. So, yeah, I mean, whatever. Doesn't matter. Juice with a big play, leaping play. Great jacket from Juszczyk too. Pre-game. I don't know if did you see his jacket from Kristen? Looked really good. All right, more comments here. Oh, Matt, pink onion pizza, 20 spot from Matt. You might have time to run over and get a pizza. Everybody should throw a 5 spot for the blue collar work ethic. Thank you, Matthew. Appreciate you setting the tone. We are almost into golfing season, Matthew. So hopefully we can get out there soon. Hit that like button. Appreciate that, everybody. Subscribe to the channel. I've been thinking a lot about what's going to happen here after football season. Starting back last summer, basically, I started going really hard here on YouTube and doing a lot of stuff. And, my inclination is to stick to doing a lot of football content here on YouTube as soon as the football season ends, which is today. So, what's going to happen? Like, some people are going to turn their attention to other sports. Will there be an appetite from you guys after football season ends for just continuing to talk mostly football? Will you want to keep checking in here on YouTube, on a daily basis to look back and look ahead? I know you probably will have a bigger appetite, say Monday morning, if the 49ers win the game. If the 49ers somehow don't win this game, which is, it's 10-3 right now, I know many of you will have a lesser appetite on Monday morning. But, anyway, just I haven't talked a lot about it, but just thinking out loud here and letting you know what's kind of been on my brain and what might happen, in the coming weeks and months. I got college basketball season for me to wrap up. I'll be back in Vegas in a few weeks for the Pac-12 basketball tournament, the last Pac-12 basketball tournament. And, and then, I love baseball. I'll tell you this, I'm not going to be on here doing baseball content, but, yeah, just something to keep in mind. I don't have an answer to that yet, but just letting you know where my head's at. I'm inclined to keep doing YouTube football stuff here in the next few weeks and months. And that'll be contingent on on you guys continuing to watch it and share it and like and subscribe and all that stuff. But it feels like we got a little momentum here. So yeah. Well, hopefully we'll keep that going. But anyway, that's for another time. Dub B Trey. Deebo didn't drop it. It was thrown low. That's true. I said Deebo dropped that ball. It was thrown low. I thought I will say this. It's not a drop, but I thought Deebo, I don't think his effort was bad on that play, but I think his effort was such that he was, instead of just trying to catch the ball, which I think he could have, he was trying to catch and run because he had a lot of space. Didn't matter. He made a first down catch on the next play. But yeah, you're right. That was not a straight drop. Shaquille, 49er football streams year round. Jake on the other side. No offense, guy, but if they lose, see you for training camp. Well, I mean, who knows? Maybe if everybody takes that attitude, Jake, maybe you won't see me for training camp. How's that for a threat? Cover NASCAR. I texted a buddy of mine who covers NASCAR this weekend. I'm like, hey, what are you up to? You in Vegas? He goes, no, Daytona 500. I said, oh, my bad. Not a NASCAR guy. Niners coming out hot in the second half. Candido. Guys, if they win this game, Brock Purdy, you're going to go, bro, where was your pulse? Did you really just roll out and win the Super Bowl looking like that? If Brock Purdy plays like that again in the second half, he's looked so calm, so comfortable, so under control. Yeah. Travis, why do you think the Niners should be up by more? I don't understand that with the turnovers both ways. I just think they have been better than 7 points better than Kansas City. And yet the scoreboard says 10-7. So that's why I feel that way. Come on, guy. We need to finish this. Deebo's arm was getting hooked on that play. Nervous we didn't score enough in the first half. Well, what they should be and what they are two different things. So here's what we know. The Niners have played a lot of games this season, the Shanahan era, where they get up on somebody and end the game at halftime. They could be up 17-7 or 17-3 right now, I guess, but the game would not be over if that were the case. So they're going to, no matter what the situation is, they're going to have to play the second half anyway and have to play well. They have to keep scoring. So they got to do it. No, we'll see. We'll see what we're talking about in at 2 hours or whatever. First half update, I had 12 meatballs, mini meatballs with Frank's hot sauce. And my wife, Alyssa, sent them in the oven and left them for me and left the house. She's at our friend's house. She's not here. I've got all my screens going and I'm dialed in. Steve asked, Guy, you drinking? Steve, I am detoxing today. After a long week in Vegas, where I was, out late every night, 3 a.m. on Friday morning, I went to bed, was up at Radio Row by 9 a.m. every day. Late flight back home to the Bay Area. Got home back to the Bay Area in the East Bay at 8 o'clock on Friday. Told Alyssa, I haven't seen the sun. I have had no vitamin D since Monday. It'd been maybe since Sunday, actually. It'd been a week, basically. I had seen the sun for a second. The sun was only out one day in Vegas. It's not like I was out anyway. So then we got in the car Saturday morning, drove into the city. The sun was out. It was freaking gorgeous. Had to take off the thin layer hoodie. Sun was out. Went to Coswell's for brunch. Got sun. Then went to Tipsy Pig, back patio, sun. Then walked around a little bit, sun. Drank yesterday as well, a little bit. So today is clear mind day. Got to stay dialed. But thank you for asking, Steve. I'm on the natural stuff right now. Slots or table games. Listen, roulette. 19 red and 16 red. I just kept putting everything on 19 red and 16 red for the most part. And I thought Montana, Chiefs, Montana, 49ers, one of those has to hit. Nothing hit in my time. But as I told Middlekoff and the dudes next to him, I'm happy for you guys because the money was being, well, the table wasn't cold. Money was being won at the table, just not by me. All right, Kid Icarus, Greenlaw is a big deal. The Niners can hold down the fort, though. Gregory Chase Young playing at a super high level thing. Keep it up. The Greenlaw thing, devastating. But if this defensive line keeps playing like this, I think they can. I think they can survive it. Too long of a halftime. 16 red is always money. Incorrect. All right, that's that. Time to get back to the game. We'll be back here after the game. We'll see. You know, depending on how this thing ends, trophy ceremony, all that. We'll see. Don't want to not count any chickens here. Hit that like button on your way out the door right now. 400 plus of you here right now. Hit the like button. That really helps out the channel, helps the post game, and makes me get out of bed on Monday morning. So we'll see what happens next time we're here, y'all. Thanks for jumping in here. Halftime looked like it was a good halftime. I just knew, I'm sure it was good, but I knew what it was going to be. Okay, see you later.